Hey all, it's Swiss again. This is my second Pwntools video. If you don't know what Pwn template is or you need a refresher, I suggest you check out my first one. Today we are going to get into some of my favorite helper utilities, which are mostly around string formatting. The first function I want to talk about is fit. Often in exploits, especially with overflows, you need to position your code at specific locations. Fit helps you do this by reading a JSON dictionary of locations to whatever you want at that location. Then what it does is it randomizes the bytes around that to put them there. If you don't like the randomized bytes, you can also give it a filler. It'll use your filler instead. Next up are the utilities around packing and unpacking addresses and strings. This is a pain to do manually, and much better with Pwntools. These are bit dependent, so it's P32 and P64. It could also be P8 and P16 if you're working on weird systems. And you use that to pack an address into a string. Then if you want to unpack that address, you would do U64, U32, U16, U8 to that. And of course that is our dead beef. These are also endian and sign dependent. So if we took this and we set the endian to big, it does it in order. And if we change the sign to signed, and we make it negative, since if it wasn't negative it'd be the same, it handles that perfectly. I have never had to set these myself, and I doubt you ever will, since in the exploit, you'll notice it sets the context binary to the elf, which sets the context for this entire Pwn process to correct endianness and signedness. Now let's talk about using these. So here I have a vulnerability, and it sits at that address. It gives you a shell, and then this is a text field that's doing gets on a string buffer of 128. So we need to place the address we want to jump to at 136. And you can see it changes each time because it has ASLR turned on. So now if we go down here, I'm already parsing out the address. The vuln is, and then I grab the rest of the line. I parse it as a hexadecimal. That's just standard Python. I receive the next line just to clear the buffer up. I print where the address is, and now I need to send the line. And I'm going to use fit here and say at 136, I want a packed string of my address. And now, if we run this, we have our shell. And of course, if we run this remote, we have our shell there. So that's it. I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions about this or anything else in Pwntools, hit me up on Twitter at SwissK1D. Thanks for watching. Until next time.